Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Wednesday, June 5th, 2019. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. You'll notice here that we got our bounce. We got the bounce that we were looking for early on last week when we mentioned that the previous low and close were very close to each other. We were looking for signs of rejection on Monday. Didn't really see it until very late in the day, and that eventually led to the bounce here back up. We have gotten back to the 2800 level and are now seeing a test right at the 2825 level, which is right around the monthly pivot point. This is what we mentioned before. We're kind of at a cycle low here. We could see that bounce back up, and now that we're here, is this going to lead to another round of weakness back down toward 2700? At the moment, we have a lower value relationship here from month to month with regards to the pivot range, and that typically is a bearish indication, and any bounce into that zone to begin the month typically offers a selling opportunity for bears to come in. So again, are we looking at somewhere between 2703 and 2719 as the next target? Perhaps so. Watch today's highs here. There's a double top at today's highs. There's a failure to get back above 2821s, 2822s right now, and that could lead to some weakness here. So again, if price is not able to really get above 2825s today, is that going to start leading to some sort of selling pressure that leads to new lows? Perhaps so. So continue to watch that here as we play out. One thing to look for if you're bullish, any pullback here, does that lead to then some sort of higher low that can rally this thing back toward 2880s? At the moment, again, indications kind of point to another round of weakness here unless that rejection occurs. If we take a look here at the NQ, very similar price action. Got a major move the other day here to the downside, and then that followed up with a super strong rally in the previous session. We have not quite hit the bottom of the pivot range just yet. Very close to it, but we continue to see weakness. Overall, since the price failed to really continue higher in May, that led to some selling pressure. Lower value relationship should be offered. And you also see right here we're inside the bearish trigger zone between the 8 period and 21 period averages, and that offers usually selling pressure. After some selling here, it bounces into it. Again, that leads to another round of selling usually. So we'll keep an eye on this zone right here. Any failure to really get beyond today's highs could suggest that we're headed much lower here. So any weakness would be targeting somewhere around 6,700 on the next move down. That would be the 100% expansion target from this key range right here. Breaking down to the 50%, then coming back and finding resistance opens up a move back towards 6,700. Any push through 7,300 could change the trajectory and perhaps lead this thing back to 7,600. Right now, everything is kind of within that bearish price structure right now, so we'll go with that until proven otherwise. Looking at crude oil, you'll see that crude oil here has been within this narrow range here for the last couple of days. Inside day yesterday, right now inside range today. We have crude oil inventories that comes out later on this morning. We're trading just 28% of average range right now. We have 64 cents of range. It's been averaging 232 on a 10-day basis. That's 28%. Obviously, that is too narrow of a range to really continue to conduct business. So we will likely see some expansion at some point today. Given the selling pressure that we've seen, this thing has been very bearish, and it's broken below that 55 CLVN. So even if this thing were to pop higher, that could still offer an opportunity for bears to defend for a continuation lower off the 55s. Keep an eye on any failed breakout opportunities today. Anytime you have a very narrow inside day like that, there tends to be an attempt to break at both sides until the final direction is established. At the moment, we've had quite a bit of selling pressure here off the 66s. That could continue to lead to a return to value at 49.17. So again, even if price were to pop higher into 55s, that could provide an opportunity to sell it into 49s. 49s could be the next target ahead. All right, let's take a look lastly at gold futures. You'll see with gold, we continue to rally here ever since this day right here when we took value bid It failed low with an outside, a bullish outside day. I mentioned above 1305 would open up a return back to 1350. We've seen a major continuation toward 1350, and we are now very, very close, within 6 handles of reaching that level. Overall, that is a big time upper key range level right there. So this is the recent high, and this is the high for the year so far. And taking it out into 1360, for example, that could offer an opportunity to watch for a rejection back to value. But at the same time, this thing has broken pretty significantly. So if it were to pull back, does it see additional strength by bulls? We're starting to get to the upper end of this range where traditionally here, at least over the last few years, price has not been able to get beyond 1375. That's just been a major, major level. If you look back at the last 4 or 5 years, price wants nothing to do with those levels above 1375. So we're getting to the spot here where there could be another sign of rejection that could bring us back to value. If it does push through 1375, it's going to be the first time in many years, and that could open up quite a bit more upside, but it just hasn't happened. So again, we're getting to the spot here where we're getting overvalued, but right now in the near term, we continue to head higher. 1350 is the next target. Beyond that could start to suggest maybe a turnaround back down. So right now, near term strength as we head into 1350, perhaps as high as 1360. Once that happens, watch for signs of rejection, because that could swing prices back down as low as those 1288s. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this develops heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I will see you in the trading room. Take care.